Meat Machine by Steve Sears. Read by Chelsea Coleman, David McMenomy, Scott Narver, and Steve Sears.
Exterior, desert, ghoul camp, dawn. Racer Tom stands wrapped in an army blanket and that blue light of pre-dawn. He watches over a quiet war camp, motorcycles beside tents and smoking fires. Scattered RVs and cars line the outskirts, refugees from some modern conflict. Tom watches one tent. A blade touches skin and pulls downward, cutting thin hairs. Interior tent, gone. Angie holds a combat knife delicately to the back of Scout's neck. Prospect is stitched across the back of Scout's jacket. He's the lowest rung of the gang's ladder. Gentle, she trims the hairs downward, sharpening his hairline. Cuts and bruises spot her knuckles. She's a fighter. They sit on their knees, him facing away and her sitting behind him. He turns to her. She pulls the knife back, skilled.
Come with us today.
Angie points.
Eyes front.
He turns back. She blows the hair off his neck. She sheathes the knife and drops it in his lap. Exterior camp, dawn. A tent opens and Angie steps out, holding her boots. Scout's head pops out of the tent.
Are you coming back?
No. I'll be at the Paradise Motel until sunset, then I'm leaving.
Angie pulls on her boots.
Do you ever sleep?
She smiles.
Not by choice.
On Racer Tom. He sees Scout and Angie kiss. He smiles, then grows cold. Angie looks over briefly and catches Tom looking. He does not look away. Tom watches Scout and Angie walk to a distant car, a Malibu Classic. She drives off, leaving Scout waving. Scout watches the Malibu kick up dust and spots two people huddled by a VW Beetle, Bobby and Fanny. A couple hastily packing up their car. Bobby looks up, frightened to see Tom. Tom stands by their Volkswagen Bug, looking into the window.
Oh, God, Tom.
His blanket is gone, and on the back of Tom's leather jacket is a green skull on a white patch, the emblem of the Ghouls motorcycle gang. A little boy sleeps in the back seat.
You can't have him.
Tom turns to them, a pistol in his waistband.
You know what we do to deserters?
We're not deserters, and it's not our war.
We've got some money saved, in case it's worth anything again.
Supply runs, ambushes, whatever you call them, less and less if you come back. He's not going to be one of your soldiers.
Racer Tom looks back into the back seat.
Slip it in neutral.
You're all committing suicide, one day at a time.
I got it.
And he's not going to... What? You're letting us go?
Slip it in neutral. This thing will wake the dead.
Racer Tom and Bobby push the Bug. Fanny drives. A slight grade and the Bug picks up speed. Bobby runs to the side and hops in. Bobby looks back, still fearful. The bulbous little car drifts behind a bluff. Tom picks up his blanket and brushes it off. He sees Scout, now watching him. Exterior highway, day. Sweat pours from Scout's face. He and two other bikers, Slutfucker and Toes, push a bullet-ridden police car flat on its rims to the road. A roadblock. Tom watches on his bike. He checks his watch. Then the horizon. Nothing. Distant, warped by heat lines, is a tall sign. Reds. Scout looks up at Tom. Tom sees Scout eyeballing him for the second time today.
Scout! You're with me.
Scout runs over and mounts his own bike.
You got something to say to me?
Why didn't you waste those deserters this morning?
Angie's freelance. She gets a pass. I didn't know if I could take her.
I'm not talking about Angie. I'm talking about the Beetle.
They had a kid.
My parents deserted. They had a kid. Deserters deserve what they get, Tom. You told me that.
A giant military truck approaches. Slutfucker, Toes, and the other bikers pull guns.
You just follow the rules, and you'll be okay.
Fuck the rules if you keep changing them.
Racer Tom starts his bike. Scout does the same. Slutfucker, gun out, looks back to Tom. Tom points a finger gun at the truck. The military truck slows, windows tinted. Toes and Slutfucker are sticking it up. Kill the engine and step out! The truck's engine idles. Slutfucker approaches the cab. Get out of the truck!
And if he doesn't get out of the truck, does he get to just ride on out of here too?
Tom looks at him.
You got a gun. We're at war. It can get real crazy real fast. You want to pop my top when the shooting starts? Go ahead. But if you want that ghoul patch, and I know you want it, then quit complaining about shit you can't do a fucking thing about.
Before Scout can answer, the truck's tires smoke blue and it bursts through the cars, scattering bikers. Scout speeds off after the truck. Tom follows. Briefly, Scout outruns Tom. Scout slows to navigate the wreckage of cars. He looks back to the approaching Tom and guns it, riding over smoking metal scrap. His rear tire blows. Scout swerves, then bails. He and his bike roll into the dirt. Scout, battered, stands. He tries to lift his smashed bike.
No! Come on!
Racer Tom slows and avoids the roadblock, stopping for Scout. Ghouls blur past.
You alive?
Get me up there.
Scout hops on Tom's bike and they speed off. They race after the truck onto the open road. Tom and Scout pass the rest of the pursuing ghouls at alarming speed. Tom's bike puts the rest of the gang to shame.
Just like a train hold up, eh, Tom?
Grab those bolt cutters.
Scout pulls a pair of bolt cutters from the bike saddlebag. Tom and Scout hail the truck. The truck swerves left to cut them off, and Tom glides to the right. Tom's bike approaches the corner of the truck, and it swerves again. Tom keeps them both alive. Scout puts a handle of the bolt cutter down the back of his jacket, freeing his hands. Tom approaches the truck again. Scout stretching his hand for the handles on the back of the truck. Scout grabs the handle and leaps from Tom's bike, completing the bike-to-truck transfer. The truck brakes. Tom zooms past. Scout swings wildly and polishes the tips of his boots with highway. Scout pulls himself up against the doors, finds footholds. He pulls the bolt cutters and snaps the locks. The doors swing open. Cold mist spirals out into the hot desert heat. Scout spiders his way across the swinging door and crawls inside the back of the truck. Tom looks back as the truck races after him. Ahead, Reds is coming into focus. A rundown truck stop bar. Beyond, a lens flare spikes from up high on a rock outcropping. In the truck, Scout holds tight to cargo netting. A black crate with a zipper fills the truck. Scout pulls the zipper. A metal canister sits on a rubber cradle. Toxic is stenciled in red letters. Scout scratches his head. On the ridge, King Mother lies atop a rock outcropping, aiming a high-powered rifle. On his back is the ghoul patch, and on the front of his jacket is a president patch above his heart. Another lens flare from his scope. In the distance, the military truck approaches, Racer Tom leading it. King wraps his finger around the trigger. On the road, Tom raises a fist, messaging King. In the truck, a green light floods the hold. Scout backs away. On the ridge, King fires, sending a bullet into the truck's windshield. The truck swerves. Shocked, Tom turns around to see the truck flip off the road. Tom U-turns, tires smoking. The truck sits on its side in the dirt, dust drifting upward. Tom is off his bike, letting it fall to its side. He runs to the truck as Scout bursts from the doors, covered in flames. He collapses. The truck blows. Tom is blown back. Scout's body is kicked across the sand. Tom opens his eyes. He's on the ground, and his head rolls to the side. Slutfucker and Toes are running towards him. He rolls his head to the other side, the truck in flames. Tom struggles to his feet, frantic, heading to the fire. Slutfucker and Toes reach him and pull him away. We're spread too thin. We gotta go. Tom struggles with them. He can't see Scout's body. Tom, he's dead. Tom pushes them away and storms to his bike. He strains and pushes the motorcycle upright. Exterior ridges, day. King disassembles and wraps up his rifle in his drop cloth. He rides down a dusty trail and onto the highway. Racer Tom appears behind him, then the rest of the ghouls. They all ride. Scout's body lays smoking in the dust. Exterior ghoul camp, day. King and Tom ride through the camp. The rest of the ghouls stop. Tired, hungry misfits emerge from tents. King rounds some rocks out of sight of camp, and Tom follows. King sits on his bike, pouring water from a canteen onto a bandana. Tom gets off his bike. He doesn't know where to start. King starts for him.
If you want to ride out of here, you can. That mercenary bitch Angie did.
The kid was still in there when you enlightened the driver.
King pulls off his gloves and balls his hands into fists. He stares into the desert.
We need another lead on the next supply run. The military isn't going to be happy we dropped another truck.
They're getting rare.
Going to have to start a lookout. Camp on the road, spotting anything we can use.
Scout would have been perfect.
King takes out a flask, goes for a drink, but pauses. He seals it and throws the flask to Tom.
We have to end it. For everybody we lost. Before nobody's left.
Next Razorback we see, we're going to paint the hills with them.
Tom drinks. Both are tired. Exterior desert, dawn, dream. A young boy, limp and bloody, is being carried by dusty arms. The boy's eyes open only for a leather-gloved hand to cover his face. The glove comes down and the little boy blinks. Exterior desert, day. Scout opens his eyes. He's face down on the dirt, still smoking. He blinks again. Exterior road, day. Scout is shuffling on the road, black with smoke. His clothes are beat, smoke-addled, but he's no longer burnt. Interior Red's bar, day. A dark refuge from the harsh desert sun. Old neon beer signs flicker. Scout stumbles in. He holds himself up at the bar, facing a flag covering the wall. A razorback pig head in profile. This is the red and white emblem of the Razorback motorcycle gang. Scout scowls at it.
Water.
Red, the bartender, turns around. His face is a mess, colored with bruises. Red hands Scout a glass of water. Scout drinks it down. This ain't a ghoul spot anymore. This is Razorback now. Red motions to the flag. You guys cut out. I had no choice. They see you, they'll tear you up, kid.
My name is Scout.
Scout reels. He rubs ice on his face. What happened?
I'm not sure. I'm not here, got it? I'm gonna...
Yeah, you do that. Scout stumbles towards the bathroom. He steadies himself at a payphone. With much pain, Scout dials.
Angie, I need you. Gonna make it to the paradise, I think. Okay, bye now.
Scout barely hangs up. Interior bathroom, day. Dank, old, and quiet save for the fluorescent bulb chatter. Scout splashes water on his face, washing away the soot. His left hand is cracked. Scout feels the crack and flinches. Eyes wide, Scout spreads the crack with 2 fingers to look inside. Exterior, Red's bar, day. 4 bikers pull to a stop. On their backs is the pig in profile. Razorbacks. They enter Red's. Gripper, king of the Razorbacks, followed by Yo-Yo, Flabby Abby, and Hamjob. Each of them wear tattered, stained ghoul patches as butt flaps, scalps. They sit at a table. Hamjob immediately begins to carve into the table with a switchblade. Gripper motions to Red.
Bring me some beers for me and my dear friends.
A horrendous scream from the bathroom.
What was that?
Gripper sighs and stands.
I thought I told you this is a very exclusive establishment.
Mr. Gripper!
Don't you even look at me. You look at the ceiling.
Red looks at the ceiling and struggles to open beers.
I make the rules. To drink here, to even piss here, you gotta be Razor. Who's in there?
Just nobody.
Hey, nobody.
Breaking glass. Hamjob stands, switchblade in hand.
Nobody, you gonna break my bathroom?
Scout slams into the door frame of the bathroom, hunching over, hiding his left hand. Red peeks down from the ceiling.
I know you. How do I know you? You were just a kid.
I'm a ghoul.
Nah, you're a mascot. Oh, kiddo, this is tough, because I want to kill you.
Hamjob starts for Scout.
But I gotta know, how could you stay with them after the ghouls killed your parents? They got greased. I was tired of that bullshit, so I left and started my own social club. I'm a deserter. I'm still here. My friends are deserters. They're still here. If there was ever a seat at the table for you...
I don't want anything to do with you, trash.
Disappointed, Gripper sits. He just couldn't get through to him.
Hammy, Abby, serve him the champagne.
Hamjob and Flabby Abby lumber towards Scout. Scout pulls the combat knife. Hamjob reaches Scout first and knocks him off his feet. Scout crashes through a table. The knife lands upright, stuck in the floor. Scout's hidden hand comes into view for a second, the cracks spreading, wet, black and amber ligaments beneath. Abby points at the hand, disgusted.
His hand's all fucked up.
Fix it for him.
I step in shit all day for moments like this.
Abby stomps it. Scout cries out, veins hard on his face. Hamjob laughs, his teeth black. Scout howls, bloody tears streak his face. Scout crawls on the floor, but Flabby Abby cracks Scout's head with a vicious, long-legged punt. Cracks spread on his temple and neck.
Let's take him for a ride.
Abby props Scout onto his feet. Gripper sees that fucked up hand again.
Wait. I want that hand.
Scout cradles his hand and convulses.
Look at him dance!
The Razorbacks laugh. Scout turns to Flabby Abby and shoots his right hand into Abby's mouth, stretching the skin like a rubber glove. Scout makes a fist, crushing Abby's face. Gripper pulls a sawed-off shotgun from his jacket. Yo-Yo and Hamjob pull pistols. Scout steps behind Abby for cover as they open fire. Scout howls again, his left hand cracking, revealing movement underneath the skin. He opens his hand wide, and a new hand rips through the skin of his palm and fingers, making a black and amber fist. He opens his fist, each finger a scorpion tail. Scout wiggles his stinger fingers, wincing. Scout drops Flabby Abby and shows the Razorbacks his stinger hand. Yo-Yo and Hamjob frantically pat their pockets for ammunition. Scout punches Hamjob in his black teeth and the back of his head blows off. Yo-Yo pulls out a clip and stops, frozen. Gripper reloads his shotgun, leveling it at Scout. Scout grabs Gripper's trigger hand and sinks all 5 stingers in. Gripper's fingers seize up and his leather jacket splits at the wrist. The sawed-off clatters on the floor.
You are going to regret this.
Gripper stumbles and falls onto his back. Yo-Yo drops his pistol. He turns and runs full speed into a pole. Ordinarily, this would just be slapstick, except as he falls, we see his upper lip hangs precariously from where he bit through it. Scout looks at Flabby Abby's body, a pool of blood surrounding her. Scout pulls the bloody ghoul patch from her back. Gripper yells, hysterically kicking at chairs, his arm swollen to the thickness of a telephone pole. Scout exits, ham jobs, black teeth embedded in the door. Exterior, Red's bar, day. Gripper howls. Scout stumbles out into the sunlight, the ghoul patch stuck with blood to his back. Scout wipes his face, smearing blood across his eyes, an incidental mask. He pulls a pair of gloves from his back pocket and puts them on. Scout starts up Gripper's motorcycle, an evil ride, drowning out the screams. Hunched, Scout roars out onto the road. Exterior desert, day. A helicopter circles the crash site. The military truck is surrounded by figures in yellow biohazard suits. Unintelligible radio chatter. Black Suburbans line the road. A dune buggy drives up. Agent Klaus wears the same protective yellow suit, but wears a driving helmet. He surveys the scene, then drives off. More unintelligible radio chatter. Exterior, Paradise Motel, day. A pull-off and stop kind of joint with a dried-up pool. Old wooden planks line the walkways in front of the room doors. Angie's Malibu is parked in front of room 4. Interior, room 4, day. For Angie, this was home. She's got a duffel bag open. She wraps up a revolver in a rag and places it into a cigar box with another similar bundle. She leaves her hand on the bundle. She catches Tom closing the door silently.
You're getting louder.
I couldn't remember which room was yours.
Liar.
Scout's dead.
Angie turns away, her mind sparking.
How?
King hit the driver. Scout was still in the truck. Whole thing blew.
You let him.
No. I know that you like Scout. I know he wasn't just fun. I'm here because I could see what he meant to you. And I didn't want you to be alone.
That's sweet, Tom.
Fuck it.
You want to wipe away my tears? You ever see me cry, Tom?
You don't need this tough nut horse shit.
Stop caring, Tom. It's creepy. If I want to see a sad lion, I'll go to the zoo. I got paid. We had fun. I got out.
Scout wasn't like us.
He wasn't like you. He's a good guy.
Tom searches her eyes, but he can't get a read on her. He turns to go.
You know where to find me.
For the rest of your life.
He stops at the door. Ouch. Tom leaves. Exterior, Red's bar, day. Klaus's dune buggy pulls up to Red's. Klaus takes a look at the bikes. He enters the bar. Exterior, motel parking lot, sunset. Scout putters into the lot and stops beside the Malibu. He gets off the bike and it falls to its side. Scout opens the door to room 4, the bloody ghoul patch dried to his back. He shuffles inside. Interior, room 4, sunset. Angie watches Scout shut the door just as Tom did. He's a mess, but she's so glad to see him.
This life, this fighting, it's all I can remember now.
You can come with me. Tom and King, they think you're dead.
My parents. Tom said they were deserters and that they left me behind.
I only know what he told me, but they didn't make it away.
Tom killed my parents?
They were trying to trade you.
Trade?
Tom caught them leaving, and your parents offered you up to the ghouls in exchange.
And you've known.
Fucking you doesn't mean I know what's best for you. How could I tell you?
She traces the crack in his forehead, searching him. Scout clutches her. His emotions mutate him, reshaping him in front of her. Muscles pulse, ligaments stretch skin.
I stayed. I had to stay. They made me stay.
His stingers tense through his gloves, ready to plunge into her arm.
You can come with me.
His transformation continues, ugly.
Don't leave.
If you ever cared about me, let go.
His face softens from gruesome to familiar. He releases her slowly. She leaves. Scout roars, left behind. Exterior, behind motel, sunset. Tom stands at a payphone around the corner from the parking lot. Hearing that monstrous wail, he hangs up. Tom watches Angie peel out of the parking lot. Tom pulls a silver pump action shotgun from a leather saddlebag on his motorcycle. Bright fluorescent lights flicker on, lighting the parking lot. Tom steps onto the planks outside the rooms. Tom passes room 5. The planks creak. Scout trashes his hotel room. Tom reaches room 4. He pauses, ready to burst in. Scout's crying.
Scout?
Tom's heart getting too big.
Scout!
Tom rests the shotgun against the wall.
You in there? It's Tom.
Tom?
Hey, kid. Open up.
I don't think you want to talk to me right now.
Open this damn door, boy.
Nothing. Tom kicks the door in. Interior room 4, night. The bathroom light shows enough of the dark room to see it's trashed. Scout stays in the darkness. Tom shuts the busted door as best he can.
Still alive.
Nothing.
That fire fuck you up?
Nothing. Tom takes in the room.
I thought you got wrecked today. Nice place you got here. Good to hole up once in a while.
Tom rubs his face, Miles catching up with him.
Angie, she fuck you up?
Nothing.
Angie, a person would say she has black hair, but it's brown. She ever asks.
If she ever asks, say it's brown. Dark brown.
But she'll never ask.
Tom sits, laughing. He pulls his gun from his waistband, getting comfortable. Not a threat, but bad timing. Scout steps into the light. He is massive, transformed. His leather jacket hangs on stacked muscle.
Here to kill me, Tom?
Tom stands slowly.
Jesus, kid. That fire.
Think you can?
Scout is a blur, grabbing Tom. The pistol tumbles to the carpet. Tom is pinned against the door, Scout raising him off the ground by his neck.
My parents.
Tom can't fight it. He comes clean.
Yes.
Scout squeezes.
Nobody deserves to live if they leave a kid behind.
Scout shows off his stinger hand, inches from Tom's face. The scorpion fingers terrify him.
What about me? What do I deserve? A life of lies? You and King dangling a patch in front of me like it's going to change my life?
Racer Tom barely chokes out the words.
You're your own man. We did what we could to keep you alive.
Not good enough.
I'm sorry, Scout.
Scout squeezes again. Tom sputters.
Did they beg for their lives?
Tom stares at Scout.
Did they?
No, they offered you up as soon as they saw me. I didn't think about it. Shot them both.
Scout drops Tom to the ground. Scout paces the room, only flashes of light revealing more of him. Mutated muscle.
Every day I see you. I see how I failed you.
You kept me. Now you don't know what to do with me.
Tom glances at his pistol behind Scout, then stands.
Yeah. Well.
Now what do I do to you?
Scout holds the bloody ghoul patch he took from the dead Razorback.
I know.
Tom braces himself.
I'm going to tear your heart out, Racer Tom.
Tom swallows, hard.
You may go.
Exterior road, night. The Malibu cuts through the darkness. It slows to a stop at a lonely intersection. Red light. Interior Malibu. Suddenly, light floods the windshield, lighting up Angie behind the wheel. Motorcycles roar around her. Shadows drift across her face, headlights circling her. She watches the lights, ice cold. She is surrounded. She yanks the gear shift behind the wheel into reverse, but her window shatters. Angie is pulled from her car by dirty leather hands. Exterior intersection, night. Razorbacks surround her, laughing, dragging her. Her legs are the last to leave the car. Angie tenses, using the door frame as a launching pad, kicking off violently. The Razorbacks carrying her stumble and miss grabbing her legs. She windmills, kicking high over her head, putting a boot through teeth. Now her left hand is free. She sends a palm into a throat. Sputtering, a Razorback loses their hold on her torso. Angie lands on her feet. A tight circle is formed around her. 2 Razorbacks on the ground, crawling away. No one wants to make the first move. An Uzi is pulled, but Angie rushes the crowd, putting bodies between her and the gunman. Angie sending elbows into faces, boots into guts. She jumps into the air to bring her elbow down onto the back of a Razorback's neck. Angie sends a straight leg out behind her, low, catching a Razorback in the knee, bending it wrong. She rushes him, tackling the knee. The gunman fights the crowd, trying to get the Uzi on her. Angie hip tosses another Razorback, but gets a kickoff into their head before they hit the ground. One goes low, trying to tackle her. Angie grabs the Razorback cut and yanks upwards like in a hockey fight, pulling his dirty leather up and over his head. She pulls a hunting knife from a sheath on the back of his belt and stabs the Razorback once, twice, 3 times in the back. He's still kicking, and she flips it around and goes under, bringing the knife up and into his chest. The tip of the knife pops out of his back. The gunman aims. Angie pushes the body back, and it stumbles into the gunman. He tries to push away, but Angie is on him, barreling down. She's too close. She grabs the gun in his hand, locking her fingers in the trigger guard, knife still in hand. Razorbacks swarm them both. She pushes the gun up into his neck and shoots his head off. Blood hits the pavement. Then fingers. Hands recoil from her. She slashes wildly, taking fingers. A new circle forms around her, sloppy with distance. She's breathing hard. The lights are still bright. Angie lit up, coated in blood. The Razorbacks are backlit, hunched over, scared.
I was out!
Bodies litter the ground, some moving, some still. Red boots step over them, delicately, slowly. Gripper.
I was out.
Gripper stops at the Malibu. He brushes broken glass out of the window frame. There is no out. There's only the big fucking hand. He holds out his giant arm and makes a fist. Kapow! Gripper punches Angie out of the circle. The stoplight turns green. Exterior, motel parking lot, night. Tom limps out, stricken. He walks right past the shotgun. He falls back and leans against a wall. He reaches down and taps the clasp shut on an ankle knife sheath. The roar of motorcycles. Racer Tom straightens and walks out into the parking lot to greet them. He stops, listening to the approaching bikes. Something's off. Tom reaches for his pistol. Gone. He unclasps an ankle knife sheath with his boot. Two bikers ride right up to Tom, Tramp and Flowers, Razorbacks. Flowers kills the engine. Tramp still idles. Tom gives them the once-over.
Make it quick.
Racer Tom, the boy's been busy.
Is there a truce on? Why are we still talking?
Truce. Ghouls are dead men no matter where you are. Where is he?
No idea. What do you do?
Turned Reds into a horror show. Tramp rubs his mouth.
What are you looking at?
I think I'm going to scalp you.
Tramp roars the engine, laughing. Racer Tom grunts and bends at the knees, bending sideways, reaching for his knife. Tom throws his knife and runs for Flowers. The knife catches Tramp in the throat. Tom throws a haymaker, knocking Flowers off the bike. Tramp fires his engine and barrels off into the night, gurgling and spurting. Tired, Tom winces, holding his lower back. Flowers struggles. Tom stomps his face. Now, breathing hard, he pats Flowers. A dirty switchblade. Tom looks to the road. A caravan of headlights approach. This time, Tom doesn't stay to greet anybody, hopping on Flowers' bike. Tom stomps the Kickstarter. The caravan pulls into the parking lot, black Suburban after black Suburban. Tom savagely tries to start Flowers' bike. Yellow men spill out of the Suburbans, pointing their assault rifles at Tom. The Kickstarter breaks off and lands a grimy mess. Tom raises his hands, looking feebly at his shotgun. The dune buggy pulls up, stops, and Agent Klaus hops out.
Great. Fascist.
Hi, I'm looking for...
You're not wanted here.
Klaus points at Tom. Tom gets a rifle butt to the face and folds to the ground. Klaus looks around, spying the broken door to room 4. Tom holds his temple, blood flowing. Alone in the desert, making a mess.
You got your cities.
Officially, but people need to be able to travel. Klaus leans in close to Tom. Did you see him? Did he look strong? Tom stares at him, bleeding. That's what I thought. Klaus goes to the broken door. He raises a hand to knock, but stops. In here?
Go ahead.
The low purr of distant engines. Tom turns to the road, but no lights. The men in yellow raise their rifles. The engines fade. Nothing. Klaus narrows his eyes, then knocks on the busted door. The door falls back into the room. Spotlights mounted on the Suburbans light Klaus and a slice of the dark room. My name is Agent Klaus. Laughter from inside the room. If you've got a moment, I'd love to talk to you about what's happening to you and your body. Tom gets to his feet.
Scout, I count 50, 60 heads.
Rifle butt to Tom's face. Tom falls backward. The laughter stops. With your abilities, we could put together a great package for you. Klaus stands stock still in front of the dark room. He turns back to his yellow troops. It's okay. Klaus takes off his helmet. He looks into the dark room, hopeful. I'll be just a minute. A massive arm pulls Klaus into the room. Yellow men rush forward, guns raised. Silence. Agent Klaus pops up in the doorway, center stage in the spotlights. Klaus clutches his eyes. Agent leans, a vocal yellow suit agent speaks up.
Agent Klaus, what is the status? Did he take the deal?
Klaus looks around, confused. He steps out to the parking lot with a stumble. He's playing hardball.
Did you tell him about the company car?
Yellow men run forward and drag Klaus off. Tom watches intently, Klaus clutching swelling eyes. Klaus is taken to the back of a Suburban, a medic station. He shakes, and the yellow plastic men press him inside to a gurney, a medic waiting.
Strap him down!
Klaus's eyes are swollen shut, but he flails and grabs at anything he can. On next, guys! On next! The roar of motorcycles, the sounds of a Harley army. Razorbacks of all races and all genders flood into the parking lot. A horde of filthy, sharp-toothed rider rapists surround and outnumber the yellow troops. Agent Leames, now field promoted second in command, speaks first.
Put your hands in the air.
The Razorbacks laugh. A particular monstrous one, Gregor, splits Black Chew.
I said put your hands.
The blue Chevy Malibu Classic squeals to a stop in the parking lot. A woman in torn clothes is bound to the hood at the wrist and ankles, her face obscured with dark, dark brown hair.
Angie?
Gripper oozes out of the car, his right arm so swollen it weighs him down. He leans against the Malibu, breathing with his tongue out. God damn. Tom flips open the switchblade and lets fly. Gripper blocks his face with a giant forearm, the knife sticking. Hey, Tom.
You're a dead man.
Yeah, well. Tom lurches at Gripper, but gets another rifle to the guts. Gripper looks around at the motel, not caring about the federal agents.
Put your hands on your head and get on the ground.
Where's the freak? Gripper staggers in a circle, staring at the hole into room 4. He keeps his distance. Oh, I know. Between you, her, and him, we got a shuffling death squad.
Angie!
She's fine, ain't she? She's a real... Gripper winces, turning red. Gripper cinches a belt at his shoulder, a tourniquet for his massive arm. He winces into a chuckle and plucks out the switchblade. Gripper rests against the Malibu. Anyone can pay the toll, at any time. King used to play that way. Tom stands, leans, jumps.
Cut her down and take me.
Shut up. Get on the ground.
I got more blood on me than you know. Blackheart, the Monroe brothers, that whole trailer park in Bisbee. It was me.
Gripper stands up off the car. Some Razorbacks laugh. Agents are getting nervous. I know who my friends were.
That's why they're dead.
Leames re-aims as they chat. Gun on Gripper, gun on Tom.
I am talking to you.
Come on! You want me? I got all their teeth in a coffee can. Come on! Take me!
Shut up!
Come and get me! Any of you fucking...
Shut up and put your hand...
Gripper pats Angie's leg on the hood. Tom, she's more dangerous than you. Agent Leames has had enough. He pulls off his yellow mask.
I am a fucking federal agent and I will not be ignored.
The zip of a bullet. Headshot. Agent Leames. The crack of a rifle. Agent Leames spins to the ground. Exterior desert rocks. Night. POV rifle scope. A perfect view of the entire motel parking lot. King Mother with his rifle, covered with a drop cloth. The crosshairs focus on Gripper. The parking lot explodes in gunfire. Yellow agents and Razorbacks open fire on each other. Racer Tom and Gripper both hit the dirt. Tom is snake crawling to the switchblade. Gripper takes refuge low by the Malibu, cinching the belt again on his arm. In the darkness, King waves a hand and ghouls rush forward to the parking lot, opening fire. King aims, Gripper popping out of sight. King adjusts and picks off Gregor. Black Chew, then brains hit the dust. At the suburban med station, Klaus shakes so bad the entire Suburban rattles. His eyes have swollen shut. Yellow agents stay low on guard.
Hold him down! I'm going to try and relieve the pressure!
An agent holds Klaus in place. The medic brings a scalpel to the horrendous bulges surrounding Klaus's eyes. As soon as the medic touches metal to swelling skin, Klaus's face splits like a ripe tomato. Underneath are eyes spilling upward. Eyes of different shapes and sizes flood the medic and agent back into the Suburban.
Hold your breath!
The medic and agent both inhale sharply as eyes cover them, filling the Suburban. The windows crack. Eyes spill out of the Suburban onto the dusty ground, a slimy bead curtain of dilating pupils. Two agents look at the tide of eyes and freeze, shuddering. A straggly razorback, top down, runs up and shoots them. He sees the eye pile and freezes. He can't look away. Klaus, the eye pile, just stares, transmitting some strange power. The world around them melts, the gunshots distorting as existence itself ceases to have meaning. Top Down's jaw goes slack and he bleeds out of every orifice, his mind decimated. In the parking lot, ghouls, razorbacks, and agents compete in a massive firefight showdown. Scout bursts through the doorway of room 4, knocking the door frame to tatters. Now we see him fully. A monster of bulging muscle, red and sinewy, his leather jacket in shreds on him. Ghouls, razorbacks, and agents alike are all stunned. On King, he looks up from the rifle scope.
What in the hell?
On Scout, he sniffs the air.
Angie.
Scout sees Angie strapped to the car.
Angie!
Agents run toward Scout and he swats them away, necks snapped. Everyone fires at everybody else. Bullets erupt on Scout as he marches to his gal. One look at Scout and Gripper scrambles into the Malibu. Tom reaches for the door handle of the Malibu, but it peels out past Scout and Tom into the night. Scout howls loud as a freight train. Tom pulls a pistol from an agent's holster and runs to a bike. Racer Tom explodes from the parking lot, chasing the lights of the Malibu. On Scout, he points at a Suburban. His arm bulges and stretches, shattering the driver's side window and filling the seat. In the Suburban, Scout's hand flows into the ignition and the dashboard. Wires and flesh intermingle. Sparks fly and sizzle. The engine starts. He flows toward the Suburban. Scout's arm explodes by an invisible force. He howls again and whips his head to see the Klaus eye pile. Black claws burst from within the pile of orbs. The claws rip eyes left and right, eyes bouncing on the ground. The claws strip the eyes away from the body, revealing long, beef-jerky muscled arms and legs. Klaus stands upright, claws at his sides, and a pile of eyes for a head. Scout pulls the excess muscle and scraps from his extended arm, a new one beneath. Scout reaches for a motorcycle, but Klaus's eyes dilate again, and the bike explodes from a psychic blast. Scout pulls his hand back, smoldering. Scout and Klaus circle each other, two beasts from hell in a parking lot arena. Klaus's eyes dilate, and blood bursts from Scout's joints. The Suburban behind Scout crumples under the psychic barrage. Scout staggers but still circles, stinger fingers tensed. Two agents, Dale and Kendricks, run behind these two monsters to the remaining Suburban.
We don't stand a chance.
This is the only way.
Kendricks pulls the Suburban doors open. Inside is the toxic metal canister, a crack corroding down the center of it. Kendricks unscrews the lid, green fumes escaping. He takes off his gas mask and plastic hood.
It's highly unstable.
A green light shines on their faces.
Ever since Patrick left, so have I.
Kendricks lifts the canister to his mouth and drinks. Glowing green slime pours down the sides of his mouth. Kendricks drops the canister onto the ground. Dale watches Kendricks in awe.
How do you feel?
Kendricks brings his hands in front of him, full of wonder.
My God. I'm discovering all new powers.
He grunts. Kendrick's stomach smokes and burns inside out. Kendricks collapses in a pile of glowing bones. Dale runs away. On Scout and Klaus, Scout covers his face as Klaus advances, his pupils swirling psychedelic whirlpools. I am everything. Join me and our fast-paced company. Step after step, the psychic intensity rising. Reality begins to bleed around Scout. The crumpled Suburban bursts into flames behind him. Scout sidesteps, blood spraying from between his muscle. A ghoul and a razorback fight on the ground behind Scout. Their faces melt along with time and space. Scout kicks a cloud of dust into Klaus's eyes. The eyes unfocus and dart in every direction. The psychedelia fades. Reality resumes. Scout stomps to Klaus, throwing jabs and straights in a relentless beatdown. Klaus's eyes burst with each impact. On King, now in the parking lot, King pulls his knife from a razorback corpse and stands. Toes and Slutfucker run past him to watch Scout pummel Klaus. On the fight, the ghouls surround Scout as he beats Klaus. The ghouls patch still visible on his back. Klaus slashes at Scout. Scout avoids with freakish grace. Another punch, more eyes pop. On the crowd, a razorback, Carpet, stands next to Slutfucker watching the fight. They share a nod, both amazed at the fight. Slutfucker pulls a gun on Carpets, but Carpets tackles him. The burning Suburban finally explodes, spraying fire. Everyone hits the ground. Scout swats out the flames on his back. When he turns back, Klaus is gone. A razorback rides for a quick escape, but Scout pulls him from his bike. Scout gets on the bike and flies off after Angie, Tom, and Gripper. King runs to his bike. The ghouls follow suit.
After him.
Bodies are strewn everywhere. Bikes and burning Suburbans litter the lot. Slutfucker starts his bike, spitting blood, talking to everyone and no one.
That was fucking Scout. He's a real fucking beast. A real meat party.
Exterior highway, night. Scout chases after the tiny, distant red lights of Angie, Gripper, and Racer Tom. Scout melds to the motorcycle, metal and meat fusing together. Organs grow on the sides of the motorcycle, and metal spokes rip from Scout's back. Black smoke flows from Scout all over. Scout and the bike are one. On Angie. Angie wakes, wind shrieking over her. She struggles, her wrists and ankles still bound with wire to the corners of the hood. Gripper laughs maniacally while driving.
Good morning.
Gripper swerves the car. Angie grits her teeth, wire coils ripping wrists and ankles. Gripper can't stop laughing, tears streaming down his face. On Racer Tom, Tom rides dark, no headlight, barreling down on Gripper and Angie. The Malibu is only 100 yards ahead of him, and he's closing the gap fast. In the Malibu, an oncoming car approaches, headlights beaming.
Fucking rude.
Gripper flashes his brights at the car. The car passes, Gripper wagging his tongue at them. Gripper steals a glance at the rear-view mirror, smiling. The smile fades to a fearful sneer. Just for a flash is a lone rider riding dark. Gripper steadies himself, eyes darting back and forth between all of his mirrors. The Malibu accelerates. Gripper taps the brakes, lighting the desert night red behind him, staring at the rear view, the roar of the wind. On Racer Tom, the gap between Tom and the Malibu grows, Tom riding cautious. In the Malibu, Gripper watches the mirrors. Gripper spots Tom trailing him.
You filthy little rat.
Gripper pulls the shotgun from his coat and sets it on the seat. Gripper still eyes the mirrors. On Racer Tom, Tom pulls the pistol from his waist. He rides alongside. Tom aims his pistol at Gripper. Gripper laughs and swerves the Malibu across the yellow lines. Angie cries out. Tom shoots the back door window behind Gripper and dives into the car. The Malibu smacks Tom's bike off the road. Halfway in, Tom grabs at anything he can hold on to. The pistol discarded. Outside, his boots smoke and bounce as he tries miserably to keep them off the power sander of the asphalt.
Woo-wee!
Gripper is so excited he can't get the words out, laughing maniacally. Tom grabs at a seatbelt, pulling and pulling until it finally sticks. Tom holds on for dear life.
Tom, come on in!
Gripper honks the horn over and over. On Angie, she yells. Exterior, Red's bar, night. 4 Razorbacks beat up Red in the parking lot. Deaf Dick, Razorback Lieutenant, watches from his bike.
Enough. Throw 'em and burn it all down.
Dick, it's all I got. Maybe we could just put up some flowers and photos.
Razorback blood was spilled, I want a burning hole in the ground.
Dick looks up to the road. The Malibu drives by honking, Angie strapped to the hood and a ghoul sticking halfway out of the back door window. Dick. Deaf Dick shoots Red while still watching the car. Deaf Dick and the three Razorbacks pursue. In the Malibu, Gripper swerves, swinging Tom nearly out of the car. Tom grits his teeth and pulls himself into the back seat, his boots smoking. There you go. Tom pulls the gun from the floor and sticks it in Gripper's neck. Oh, what now, Tom? Should I slow down and hop out?
Open your fucking door!
Are you really going to put a bullet in the only thing keeping us all on the road? Gripper accelerates. Tom pushes the gun hard. Gonna put a little lead in my mind? Let me put something in your mind, Tom. Total fucking annihilation. Gripper checks the mirrors, headlights. Tom presses a gun into Gripper's neck. Do it. Come on. Pull that fucking trigger. She's a killer, Tom, but you're boring. Tom pulls the hammer back. The Malibu roars through the night. You jump in here like a real madman and you just sit there. That's why I hate you, Tom. I can see you thinking and it makes me sick. Tom looks out at Angie's hair whipping on the glass. That monster is coming. He's coming for me or is he coming for you, Tommy? Tom switches gears. He looks to Gripper's massive hand.
Your hand?
Yeah, how about that?
He changed you. You're poison, man. One big blow dart.
I'm fine. You're in the back seat. You're fucked. You hear me? You got problems. She's got problems. I'm fucking fine. Gripper watches the mirrors again, the lights growing, his eyes always darting back to his hand. Gripper closes his eyes for a second and calms. What's he gonna do to her? What's he gonna do to you? Tom's thinking about it. Racer Tom leans over into the front seat and fires the pistol into Gripper's right thigh. Gripper convulses with every round ripping through. Blood spray, fabric, and cotton fly from his seat. Outside, the Malibu drifts across the line. Inside, Tom opens Gripper's door and kicks him out onto the highway. The car swerves. Oncoming traffic lights the car. Blare of a semi-truck. Angie lit up. Racer Tom moves into the driver's seat. Outside, the Malibu flies back across the yellow line, the semi-truck screaming past. Inside, Tom slows the Malibu again. Headlights flood the mirrors, invading his face. 4 individual lights. Motorcycles. Tom accelerates. Exterior motel parking lot, night. The motel war zone is still smoking. Klaus, the eye beast man, emerges from the cave that was room 4. Pupils dilate, then contract. Klaus stumbles, knocking a Suburban over in the process. Tire marks lead out of the parking lot into the darkness of highway. Klaus turns to face the waiting dune buggy. Exterior highway, night. Scout thunders the highway, his body and bike belching flames and smoke from all over. He passes Red's Tavern and Red dead in the parking lot. Distant behind him are the lights of the rest of the ghouls. On the Malibu, 3 Razorbacks pursue Tom and Angie. Tom swerves on the road, blocking any opening to pass along the side. 2 Razorbacks ride along the driver's side, baiting Tom. Inside, Tom jerks the wheel and crosses the yellow line. The bikers slow. Outside, the 3rd, a silver helmet Razorback, uses this to pass the Malibu on the right. Tom pulls back to the right lane, but it's too late. Silver Helmet makes it in front of the Malibu. The Malibu rides the shoulder, kicking up dust in the brake lights. Angie is shook wildly on the hood. Another Razorback goes for the pass. Tom pulls the Malibu back onto the road and right into the rider, spitting him off the road with a shower of sparks. 2 Razorbacks remain, bookending the Malibu. Inside, Tom racks the slide on the pistol. Outside, Silver Helmet looks back to the Malibu, pulling out a length of chain. Tom brakes. The rear Razorback Goggles slams into the Malibu, the left tire blowing. Goggles hits the road and tumbles into darkness. Tom swerves into the right lane, the Malibu's left rear wheel spitting sparks. Tom aims the pistol at Silver Helmet. He fires, hitting the Razorback. The Malibu passes Silver Helmet as he wobbles, then wipes out. Tom pushes the Malibu onward, the left tire aflame. Inside, Tom watches the mirrors. No more pursuers. The Malibu comes to a stop. He's out and on the hood with Angie. Angie in the hood steam.
Angie, come on, baby, stay with me.
Tom pulls off his gloves and feels for her pulse.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Tom pulls on the cable manacles. Angie bleeds from her ankles and wrists.
Stay with me.
Tom pulls the switchblade and cuts at the cables. The switchblade breaks. Tom pulls the pistol and tries to shoot through the wire. Angie turns away. The gun clicks. Worthless. Tom slides off the hood, desperate.
Angie, listen to me. I'm going to have to drive.
Angie is pained, raging.
Get me off this thing.
I can't.
Fire lights the horizon, the beast once known as Scout.
Stay with me. I'll get you off of here, but I'm going to have to drive.
You get me off this fucking thing!
I promise I will. I promise. Can you make it?
Angie nods, her hands fists.
Fuck you.
Tom starts the Malibu and Angie grits her teeth. The rim spits smoke and sparks as the Malibu hits the road again. Exterior highway, night. Scout rides past the Razorback wreckage. Goggles is in the middle of the road, crawling. Scout cuts him in half. Interior Malibu night. The headlights of the Malibu light up an old sign, gas, and Tom turns off the highway. The Malibu slows, entering a grave of a gas station. An old chain-link fence ends in bent tatters. Tom bursts out of the car. Interior gas station, night. Breaking glass. Tom kicks in a small door, splintering it. Tom searches in the dark. Metal clatters. Light. A bare bulb lights up a mechanic shop full of rusty tools and scratched metal cabinets. Tom pulls a pair of wire cutters from a drawer. Exterior gas station, night. Angie is limp on the hood as Tom runs over. He cuts the cable on her left hand. Angie grabs at the wire cutters and pulls them from Tom. Angie severs the cables on her right hand. She leans forward and winces, her backside burned from the heat of the engine. Her body steams in the cold desert air. Tom, in the headlights, takes off his jacket. With her legs free, Angie rolls off the hood, bare feet on cold, cracked concrete. She falls to her knees. Tom goes to her, draping his jacket around her. She pushes him away and stands. Angie shambles to the driver's side of the car. She pops the trunk open. Angie guides herself to the trunk. Tom's jacket falls to the ground. Her hands shake as she pulls her suitcase from the trunk. Tom opens it for her. She pulls out jeans, a leather jacket, the cigar box. Tom watches the road as she pulls off her torn clothes and dresses behind him. Tom turns to her, the fire and smoke of Scout growing closer behind him. Interior mechanic shop, night. Tom throws his jacket on a workbench and pulls tools from the cabinets. Sharp, blunt, anything that can do damage. A sledgehammer. Angie lights a cigarette. An engine sits on a table. Tires line a wall. Outside, Scout rolls into the gas station. His engine idles, a thunderous heartbeat. Inside, Tom smashes the bulb with the sledgehammer. Angie and him creep to the window. Outside, Scout disengages from the motorcycle, valves spraying steam, wires and arteries splaying wildly. Scout prowls the Malibu. Inside.
What is that?
That was Scout.
Outside, Scout sees the blood all over the front seat. He whips his head around, looking to the garage. Inside, Tom ducks from the window.
He's done worse in one night than we've ever done.
Angie watches from the window, nodding, clutching her bloody wrist.
Where's Gripper?
I tossed him.
Scout sees Angie's face at the window. He approaches. Inside, Tom reaches for her, but stops.
You want to go? I'll go.
She looks at him. Outside, Scout runs to the garage.
Did you see the body?
No.
Angie stumbles out the broken door. Scout puts his hands through the garage door and rips it off its hinges. Scout fills the garage door, legs wide and arms apart. Tom hides behind a cabinet on wheels, the sledgehammer shaking tight in his hands.
Scout!
Scout turns around to see Angie, barefoot.
Angie.
Angie looks at him, taking it all in. The mutation and the metal all blended together, fragments of the motorcycle now part of him. She's scared, but something equally cold holds her in place. Scout takes a step towards her.
Don't go.
Where's Gripper?
Tom peers out from behind the cabinet. Scout spots him.
Shit.
Scout knocks the cabinets aside. Tom wields his sledgehammer.
Where's Gripper?
It's just us.
Take off your boots.
What was that, Prospect?
I said, take off your boots, old man.
Tom backs against the wall.
Pull them off my dead feet.
Scout swats a cabinet out of the way.
You can't tell me what to do anymore. I'm the future you and King wanted. Patch me in.
Paid your dues. That it?
I got blood on my hands. Patch me in.
King leads the ghouls into the parking lot. Scout steps closer to Tom.
A patch, Tom, and I won't pull those boots off your mangled corpse.
King gets off his bike, the ghouls following. The ghouls approach Scout, curious, tentative. Scout turns to face King. King stands his ground.
I'm strong.
He's caught up in the attention and doesn't notice Tom come out of the garage, straight to Angie.
Just go.
Not until I see Gripper's body.
The ghouls have surrounded Scout, leaving Tom, Angie, and King outside of the circle. Slutfucker reaches out and quickly pats Scout's arm, metal and flesh together.
Damn, Scout.
Want it? Want to rock and roll like me?
God damn. Yeah.
Scout holds out his stinger hand to Slutfucker.
What do I do?
Don't flinch.
Scout taps Slutfucker in the sternum, holding his stinger finger in place. Scout looks to Angie, smiling. Racer Tom backs away. Slutfucker raises his fist in the air, energized, mutated.
I feel great. You gotta try this. What a fucking shit. Yeah.
Punches himself in the face.
I'm a motherfucking motherfucker.
Toes pushes ghouls aside. He thumps his chest with a fist.
Give me the stuff.
Can you handle it?
I can handle anything.
Scout's stinger hand catches Toes in the throat. He flinches, then mutates.
I don't like this one bit.
The kid's a volcano and everyone's hopping in.
That's not the kid anymore.
He takes the sledgehammer from Tom. On the ghouls.
Look at me! Look at you!
Toes explodes, coating everyone with a black, thin mist.
He flinched.
The rest of the ghouls are shocked but drawn in, moths to the flame.
We're the future. The strength to survive in a new world. That's what I offer. I can share it with all of you. Highways, territory, cities, states. We can run it all.
The ghouls cheer.
How about it, King? It's perfect for you. I think we're all forgetting a crucial chain of command. Scout, you mind not mutating my whole fucking gang?
Slutfucker smiles, new fangs growing.
King, the ghouls are still your club. That's your legacy. This, tonight, is a shared legacy. Legacies are earned.
You want a ghoul on your back or the fuck god in your veins?
Eat for me and fuck forever.
Slutfucker takes off his cut with the ghoul patch on the back. He looks at it, then King. He drops it. Scout holds out his stinger hand and one by one stings the rest of the ghouls. Ghouls' patches are ripped from jackets. Bikers mutate. Scout turns to Angie with his stinger. She doesn't step forward.
Gripper is mine.
Scout turns sharply to the ghouls, his eyes wide, seeing beyond them.
Razorbacks. All of them dead.
Scout melds to the Malibu and rolls with it into the mechanics. Lights flash. Newly mutated, the ex-ghouls bond to their bikes. The revving of engines is deafening. Scout emerges, him and the Malibu, now a monstrous meat and metal open-top hot rod with a raised engine and an army of tires beneath. The passenger door opens, a seat for Angie. She enters.
No one can stop us now.
Scout looks to Angie. She's cold. She looks back to King and Tom alone. Scout revs his engine, loudest of all. Plumes of smoke billow into the night sky. Fire erupts from the exhaust, lighting the mutant ex-ghouls. Scout, the hot rod, raises up on its rear wheels and peels out of the gas station parking lot. The mutants follow, leaving King and Racer Tom in a scattered pile of ghouls' patches. King watches Scout's firelights fade on the highway. He points after them and turns to Tom.
He's thinking big picture.
Tom pulls on his jacket. King's at his motorcycle, pulling a bundle strapped to the seat. King unwraps his rifle, a pistol, an AK-47, and magazines. King hands the AK-47 to Tom.
How many times have I put a gun in your hand?
Tom slings the assault rifle.
How many times did you pull the trigger?
A lot.
You knew why.
Always.
Those aren't brothers anymore. That's an army of guys who wanted to kill, like you, but they don't have your processor.
They weren't brothers the moment they took off the skull.
And Angie?
She's gonna get Gripper, dead or alive.
And us?
We're gonna kill the monsters.
King shoves the pistol and clips in his waistband and grabs the rifle. Exterior gas station, night. By the fence, King stands guard, weapon raised. Tom pulls 2 metal poles from the remains of the chain link fence. Inside the mechanic shop, King holds the metal post as Tom uses a brake lathe to grind it into a spear. King loads rounds into magazines for the pistol and AK-47. Tom wraps tape around the handle of the sledgehammer. Outside, King and Tom sit on motorcycles, each with a metal spear.
Try and keep up.
Racer Tom and King pull out of the gas station. Interior, Red's bar, night. Death Dick hauls Gripper and a duffel bag into the bar. Gripper is battered, covered in road rash. Gripper's leg is wrapped but still leaves a gratuitous blood trail. Dick props Gripper up in a chair.
The lights. Keep the lights out.
Dick kills the lights, except for neon beer signs.
The arm. The arm.
Death Dick unhitches the belt around Gripper's arm. The arm pulsates.
I want every bottom feeder.
Grip.
Every rough son of a bitch with empty pockets here tonight.
Grip, there ain't nothing keeping that leg on. This motherfucking leg is broken.
I mean the real deals. Who was that guy who ate that bitch?
Mr. Apple?
Yeah, Mr. Apple.
Dick goes behind Gripper to the bar, searching.
They're all gone.
Gripper looks at his gargantuan hand.
Red. Where's Red?
I dragged you past them.
Gripper rolls his head. Weak.
Dick?
Yeah, Grip?
Dick. I think I'm dying. I'm scared. I'm sorry, man.
Don't be sorry.
I gotta say this. Man, I am sorry that I made you ride out there. It's been hot. It's a fucking desert, and I've been sending you out here and there. Why a fucking desert? And I could have shot Red.
A little heat never hurt anybody.
No, Dick, people die from the heat all the time. That could have been you. Old ladies cook in their houses when the air conditioning goes. Just sit and cook. For fuck's sake, it's a fucking sauna in here. Can you get the fucking air? I am fucking seething here.
Dick drinks some water, watching Gripper in his chair.
Jesus Christ, I'm fucking sweating. But I don't want that to be you. Imagine it. You cooking and falling off your bike. I'd never forgive myself. A fucking desert. Why would they ever want this?
It's ours now.
Fuck right it is. Bring me a shot.
Dick walks to the table with a bottle and slows. Gripper's chair is surrounded with blood. Dick steps over Flabby Abby's body. Gripper's hand is as big as a catcher's mitt.
Oh, big hand.
Big hand. I hate it.
Here you are. Whatever you got, it's keeping you alive.
Gripper coughs up blood.
Yeah.
Squealing engines. The bar rattles, bottles falling from the shelves. Dick stands and runs to the window, pistol in hand.
Who'd you piss off?
God hated me enough to drop me off. Why stop now?
Exterior highway, night. The ground shakes. Interior basement. Deaf Dick pulls Gripper down metal rungs into the basement. Guns and beer boxes line the walls. Storage. Deaf Dick drags Gripper.
I don't want you to think I didn't give a rat's ass.
I know. Look, Grip, I appreciate what you said. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gripper gets leaned against the case. The room shakes. Dust falls from the ceiling.
What is it? What is that thing?
I only saw it for a moment. Big as a bear. Tall as a house. Strong like you wouldn't believe. Mean. He was just mean. Wore the skull.
That school's up there? Must be the last ones, 'cause they sound pissed.
Yeah, he's angry.
Dick starts pulling guns from the wall, loading the duffel.
Good. Yeah, ghouls can't think straight when they're angry.
Yeah.
Wake up!
More engine, more dust from the ceiling.
Just keep 'em open. I got an idea.
Dick pulls out a bag of white powder.
Can I have some?
It's for you.
Exterior Red's bar, night. The dune buggy is parked neatly in a parking space. Interior basement. Gripper and Deaf Dick stand face to face. Both are loaded, but talk quietly.
How you feel?
Gripper talks through gritted teeth.
How much meth was that?
You standing up?
Fuck your mother, I am.
We gonna kill this thing?
Fuck yeah.
Stomping feet above them. The ceiling spits more dust down onto them. Gripper pulls out a grenade from his pocket. Deaf Dick grabs Gripper's hand and grenade with both hands, firm, his eyes wide.
Take it easy. Remember the plan.
Gripper shakes from the drugs. He tries to pull his hand away, turning red.
Remember the plan.
You're a good guy.
Thank you.
They shake hands, Dick hesitating to let go.
Maybe I should have a cigarette.
That might be best for both of us.
Dick struggles to let go of Gripper and his hand grenade. Gripper nods his head and puts the grenade away. They both light cigarettes.
Oh, might have been too much.
Gripper exhales sharply, smoke pluming. An eyeball lands on Dick's shoulder. Gripper and Dick watch, wide-eyed. Dick stomps his cigarette. He smells.
Smells like eyes!
Oh, goddamn.
Gripper takes hurried puffs from his cigarette, pacing as best he can with a limp. Eyeballs rain into the room.
Those fucking animals. Those fucking animals.
His hand is swollen and drags at his side.
Okay. Think. Whose eyes are whose?
Whose eyes are whom's? Eyes flood the room, filling it. Gripper and Dick struggle for air against the ceiling. From all around them, gentlemen, I have an exciting career opportunity for one of you. Exterior highway, night. King and Racer Tom ride towards the distant fire. As they approach, it takes shape. The roaring blaze of Fanny and Bobby's VW bug. Tom slows and stops. He stares into the flames. Exterior desert, dawn, dream. A young boy, limp and bloody, is being carried by dusty arms. The boy's eyes open only for a leather-gloved hand to cover his face. Tom, younger, stands with a gun in front of the bodies of a man and woman, Scout's parents. King, younger, carries the little boy, Scout, covering his face with his gloved hands. King yells at Tom, furious. King hefts the boy up and embraces him, carrying him away. Exterior highway, night. Tom looks away from the flames, the memory almost too much for him. He looks up. King is watching him.
What was I to do?
I don't know, Tom.
Exterior Red's bar, night. Scout and his army roll into the parking lot. Scout disengages from the Malibu and stands on the hood. Gripper stands in front of Red's. He belches.
Hi, guys.
Angie opens her door, but it slams shut. The doors lock under Scout's control. Scout reaches out for Gripper. Tendrils shoot from the engine and drag Gripper across the parking lot to the Malibu.
He's mine!
Angie beats at the seats with her bloody hands. Metal burns Gripper's face, and he blubbers blood dribbles from his mouth. Pressed against the engine, wires and coils embed in his face and body. The engine opens up and pulls Gripper inside, enslaving him.
He's not yours! He's mine! He's mine!
The engine rubbles, screams from deep inside. Scout peels out of the parking lot onto the open road. The mutants follow Scout.
I can feel him right now, writhing in my engine.
Scout turns back to her and steps down into the driver's seat, a hot rod driving itself.
Stop the car! I'm getting out!
I got him, Angie. For you.
This is going to burn in me for the rest of my life. It'll never go away now, Scout. Never!
Angie.
Scout gags. The engine fires. They pick up speed. Angie crawls back on the seat. Scout dry heaves, his neck swelling. His cheeks fill and he vomits eyes. Klaus streams out of Scout in a streams of eye pearls.
You just can't beat a good company car.
Gripper's laugh bubbles up all around them.
I know you.
Gripper's hands shoot out of the dashboard and grab Scout.
Same team now, sport. You too, beautiful.
Gripper hands rip through the seat, reaching for her. Angie jumps out of the broken window of the Malibu. Tendrils shoot out of the car, grabbing every mutant in reach, pulling them to the car. On Angie. She lands in dust, rolling hard. She struggles and is on her feet, limping. Behind her, the Malibu is transforming further. Mutants are being pulled into the Scout-Klaus-Gripper combo, a monstrous, chaotic creature on wheels. She hoofs it towards Reds. The Malibu breaks, spitting flames. Its shape can't be determined in the darkness, but it is larger, horrific, and turning around. Angie's back is lit up by the flames and headlights of the Malibu. She keeps at it, pumping her legs. Reds is up ahead, growing closer, but still so far away. Headlights focus on her, dozens of lights from dozens of absorbed bikes all over on the Malibu. Deafening roars and groans of living machinery. The engine is all too human. Angie in crosshairs. The crosshairs drift to Scout, too big for the scope. On King, 100 yards away, he looks over his rifle's eyepiece. It's brief, but what he sees isn't what he's ready for. He re-aims and fires. Close on Scout. A gas hatch, crisscrossed with throbbing veins, ruptures like a pregnant boil. Gasoline pus sprays out. The lights of Scout veer off the road, away from Angie. On King, the scope fills with light, and King shields his eyes. All of Scout's lamps light up King alone on his bike. On Angie, she looks over her shoulder just long enough to see a lit King flinging his rifle and peeling out, Scout almost on him. Angie runs across the parking lot of Red's. Tom watches Angie enter Red's from atop his bike on the road. Tom dismounts, leaving his bike idling. He unslings the AK-47 and aims downward at a writhing slime puddle of gasoline pus. Tom fires, igniting the slime. Fire rushes off down the road and then abruptly into the desert where Scout targeted King. Flames burn through the desert towards the bumping lights of the off-roading Scout. On King, King's bike is too slow and on the rough ground. He turns toward Red. He ditches the sledgehammer, then the spear. Scout's lights grow closer, his true form still unrevealed. King's bike hits the pavement and he downshifts, smoking tires to pick up more speed. Shots ring out. Racer Tom is headed for him, laying down, suppressing fire at Scout, but he isn't stopping. Headlights shatter. Scout retargets again as he skids onto the concrete parking lot. Tom's mouth drops. In the light of Red's parking lot, Scout's true form. Gripper and Klaus didn't just infect Scout, they've imprisoned him. Scout is struggling against limbs that are sprouting from the car and himself. Fists clutching wrists, forearms folded around his throat, fingers digging into flesh. It's a creature fighting itself, tormented and terrifying. The flames work their way through the dust behind Scout. Eyes open from slits all over Scout, focusing on Tom. The tires squeal with some deep-seated pain and lurch toward him. Racer Tom mounts up and follows King, riding behind Reds for cover. Scout rams through the bar, obliterating it. Wood planks rain down from the sky. Tom looks back. Angie was in there. King digs left, and Tom follows. Scout turns after them, dozens of tires smoking and still fighting the limbs sprouting from within. A hand finds Scout's mouth, and he bites down fiercely. He yanks his head back and forth like a Rottweiler. Firelight glints on his face. Scout spots the fire trail working its way towards his gas tank. Eyes open all over him in fear. Hands release fists, release limbs, release Scout, and he disengages from whatever the Malibu has become. Moans of pain as the melded ghouls bleed out and spark as Scout steps out of them and the Malibu. Klaus and Gripper are still twisted into him. The fire hits the pus tank. The Malibu and its forever passengers burst into flames, scrambling for life. The hot rod explodes. Flames rain down from the sky. Tom's back and bike ignite. He bails, rolling into the dirt. The AK-47 clatters on the pavement. Interior basement, night. Angie pulls an M249 paratrooper, a light machine gun you feed rows of alligator teeth into from a wall. She slings it and runs back to the metal steps. The hatch is ripped off its hinges. Scout, Gripper, and Klaus, now bound by flesh, look down at her. Scout is restrained. Hands bind his mouth and fingers intertwine his throat. Klaus and Gripper are in control. Scout still fights, but he is outnumbered by hostile limbs. She raises the machine gun to fire. Klaus's eyes glow. She freezes, paralyzed. Gripper begins to laugh. His hands wrap around Scout's stinger hand, fingers interlocking, forcing it open. You want her to stay? Hands slime out of Scout, pinning him in place, pulling his arm and extending the stingers towards Angie.
No!
Scout fights, but he's overpowered, muscles interlocking and flexing around, chaining him forward. We'll make her stay. Angie's trigger finger strains in the trigger guard. White oil drips from the stingers, powerful hands pushing them inches from Angie. Scout strains, blood and oil streaming in thin lines from his eyes. No one's ever going to leave you again, Scout.
Don't flinch, Angie.
The back of Scout's head erupts, the crack of a rifle. The eyes blink. Angie's machine gun thunders. The Stinger hand is ripped apart with bullets. The basement fills with gun smoke. Scout, Gripper, and Klaus stumble backwards. Angie climbs out of the hatch onto the wreckage of Red and resumes firing. Klaus's eyes dilate, but Angie clenches her eyes shut. Klaus is shredded. She pivots. Bullets rip through Gripper's form, melded to Scout. The barrel of the M249 glows orange with heat. The gun clicks empty, smoking. Angie drops it. Scout stands there, still alive, Gripper and Klaus regrowing on him. Gripper's in shreds, flapping and hanging off of Scout, still alive.
You said let me go. I let you go. You came back.
I did.
Scout's crying oil out of his eyes, sobbing, pleading.
But you didn't come back for me.
No.
The combat knife sticks in the floor at her bare, dirty feet.
I just wanted.
He can't say it. Scout screams, pulling open his chest. A pounding, piston-valved heart jackhammers, 3 hearts bound together, shared between Scout, Gripper, and Klaus. Eyes open on the inside of his chest, watching her. Angie pulls the knife out of the floorboards. Gripper reaches out for her. No! She slices at Scout's massive heart, shredding it. Oil sprays out. She can't stop. She keeps hacking. What he was can never be again. She pulls the life valve from his chest. Long wires and veins stretch and snap. The eyes all dilate and roll back. Gripper goes limp. Scout slumps against the wall. He slides to the floor. Angie looks at Scout, holding his heart, this beautiful boy devoured. She touches his face. Exterior, Red's bar, wreckage, dawn. That early morning blue light. Angie, covered in oil, steps out holding a pair of scavenged boots. Tom gets up out of the dust. His ghoul patch still smokes. Angie, boots on, gets on Death Dick's motorcycle and starts it up. Tom opens his mouth to call to her, but stops. He watches her ride off. As her engine fades away, he turns behind him. Tom catches a thrown flask. Exterior, intersection, dawn. Angie rides. There, waiting for the light to change, is a military truck. She blazes past bodies through the intersection. Green. The truck putters through. She's out. The end.